Hello everyone, what is up? Hopefully you guys are having an amazing day. Today we're going to be talking about what's happening with XRP and the XRP community. Now let's just jump right into the news. We could see here from Crypto Lee, he tweeted out, "I love the same different vision XRP community, Eye of the Storm." Let's watch this video.
On November 8th, I announced that when Mr. Trump, whether you love him or hate him, this was the beginning of the greatest transformation of wealth the world has ever fucking seen since World War II. See, I know what he was going to do. I know what he's going to do now. And he hasn't even got started. Now, what are you going to tell your kids and your grandkids 25 years from now when they say, "Gee, Daddy, gee, Grandpa, what were you doing other than having your thumb up your big fucking ass during the greatest transformation of wealth in the history of the world? What were you fucking doing?" Fuck all, nothing. That's what most of you will tell them, your grandchildren and your children. It's never going to get any better than this, kids. This is the, as I said on YouTube, the eye of the perfect motherfucking storm. This is it. I never thought I'd live to see it again. This is going to make the 80s look like a nursery rhyme.
Damn, this is going to make the 80s look like a nursery rhyme. Now, he's stating that, this is going to be the biggest wealth transfer in a long time, or maybe even the history of time. So guys, what are you guys going to do? This tweet is from Bloomberg. At least 119 billionaires are expected to be in Davos, Switzerland next week. We could see here. Isn't that crazy? As the gulf between the rich and everyone else continues to grow, at least 119 billionaires are converging on Switzerland next week to join bankers, politicians. So that's insane. 119 billionaires. Brad Garlinghouse is going to be there, so it's going to be amazing. XRP Joker tweeted out, "Warren Buffett once said, the stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. We have seen XRP evolution. Now you must be patient. Ripple are dominating the space. It's only a matter of time." As that quote, guys, transferring money from the impatient to the patient, people. Very important and good quote right there. Matthew, Egypt is in the top 5 global remittance market. This will be a perfect use case for MasterCard's implementation of XRP. We could see here, Cairo, Egypt, January 15, 2020, MasterCard announced a global effort to. This will be the perfect use case for MasterCard's implementation of XRP. XRP, guys, it's going to be revolutionary. From Stephen Bull, we could see here, digital assets like XRP will be supplemental to existing fiat currencies. The big 4 currencies will become stronger because of digital assets. We could see here Chris Larson, Ripple, January 2020. So let's watch this video.
About the future of cryptocurrencies, where do you see the future of these digital assets and maybe the role of Bitcoin and Ripple or XRP in that future?
Yeah, so our view is that these digital assets really become supplemental to the existing family of currencies, right? So every country still needs its own, fiat currency for all kinds of reasons I won't get into. It's very complicated, right? And I actually think that the big 4, the yen, the euro, the dollar, the RMB, they actually, I think, come stronger in this world that we're going into, partially because of digital assets.
Okay.
That these digital assets actually contribute to a world that's more interoperable, where more people around the globe can get access to these big 4. And most of global commerce is done in the big 4. So I think you have a bifurcation going on. Those big 4 get stronger. I think some of the smaller currencies, maybe even some more of the very small fiat currencies, become less relevant, maybe even disappear. A country could have its own fiat, but still use one of the big 4. You have lots of
like
examples.
Montenegro, right?
Absolutely. But I think then where the digital assets fit in, like things like XRP and Bitcoin and Ethereum, they're kind of in that mid-range. They become, I think, like the Singapore dollar or the Swiss franc, and they become useful in, kind of lubricating the world to make it easier for those big 4 to get in the hands of people all around the world. So that's useful. And then it might also be things like applications and devices that maybe primarily use one of those digital assets. So That's kind of the view we have. So I think in that world, countries should be less threatened by what's going on, and see them as simply supplemental rather than a threat. Too much talk about it being a threat. Our industry has done a bad job in too much bravado and chest pounding. It's just kind of silly.
XRP is going to make it easier throughout the whole world and connect the whole world. So it's going to be really good to see, in the upcoming years, to what happens. Bull tweet out multiple bank and payment systems down at the same time from JMelp. Now this is interesting. Multiple banks and payment systems are down, so simultaneously. So we could see here. What does this mean, guys? Remember what they said. It's going to start on a Friday. Everything usually starts on a Friday, so that's quite interesting. Came in tweet out. TradeIX announces Marco Polo R3 Korea will be fully live in Q1. Over 30 banks and transactions ready to start going live in Q2. Some may go a little bit before that. New partner Accenture to use it with more than large players. Nothing DLT use. Over 30 banks and transactions ready to start going live in Q2. And then R3 will be fully live in Q1. So we can see here, this year is going to be amazing and huge, guys. This is the time. This is obviously not financial advice, but this is the time to start, stacking up more and more, accumulate as much as you guys can. XRP tweeted out, Coinbase, Gemini, and Circle, they're all declining to list Ripple because it seems like a security. So how did you choose Ripple? XRP being included in that. The large cap funds me that it's one of the largest and we don't believe it's a security. Let's watch this video.
Recently, you launched your digital large cap fund, and as you mentioned, you also have the Ripple Investment Trust. I know some of your portfolio companies, particularly the top tier exchanges like Coinbase, Gemini, and Circle, they're all declining to list Ripple because it seems like a security. So how did you choose Ripple and decide to also include it in your large cap fund?
It starts off with investor demand, and as evidenced by the activity in the trading of XRP and the market cap, there's clearly investor demand for it. And so for us, it was an easy decision to kind of just go through the list of tokens and do our own analysis around ones that kind of could be securities. And the conclusion, obviously, before we did this was that XRP was not a security. And its inclusion in the large cap funds, that we don't have discretion. That fund is it's a market cap weighted formulaic construct of a fund where it tries to essentially capture the top 70% market cap of the tokens, but there's exclusions around tokens that are not traded in U.S. dollar, markets. There's exclusions around lack of custody solutions. There's exclusions around ones that may be deemed securities. So XRP being included in that large cap fund means that it's one of the largest, and we don't believe it's a security.
You've invested.
XRP being in one of the large cap funds, deemed not a security. I mean, XRP is, in the top three coins in coin market cap. Tweeted out, nothing to see here. We could see here Catherine Coley. Look who liked this post from Ashley. Look at this. Catherine Coley. Fact, 2K was a target, 2K is achieved. You see here? And look, who is she? CEO, Binance America. Quite fascinating to see why she liked that post from Baba Cugs. Next is from Peter Vass. We can see here Turkish Banks switch on digital gold transfer networks. Turkish banks have begun to transfer of a cryptocurrency representing physical units of gold via a blockchain platform developed by Istanbul Clearing Settlement. So, Turkish banks switch on digital gold transfer networks. Again, gold, guys. Again and again, gold. Gold is going to be, high up there as well. Gold, we got silver, we got XRP. All these things. That's why people say diverse, through different assets. Now we're to the fun part of XRP in the XRP community. I'm obviously not a financial advisor. This is just, for entertainment only. But this is quite interesting. XRP Yoda tweeted out, what are the chances? We could see here, just announced USChina Trade deal to go into effect on Valentine's Day. Now, Phase 1 of the USChina Trade deal to go into effect on Valentine's Day. What is that, guys? So it begins. 14. Oh, wow. That's amazing, isn't it? What are the chances, guys? Quite fascinating. We're born to it out. Visa's to launch its blockchain-based Visa token, VST. It's estimated that Visa will process a combined e-commerce volume of 1 trillion with its service. Visa's simplified online checkout experience will replace Visa checkout in the US starting in January 2020. We could see here, blockchain-based Visa token service. So that's quite, look at that. Visa is now coming into the play as well. Visa can now use XRP to bridge currency around the world with new acquisition, played, and partnerships of bankable. We could see there. So Visa at this point is coming into the play as well, guys. So everyone's coming into the play. You know, it's like a theater show. Remember, guys, it's like a theater show. Yo, he tweeted out, let's go. Is it time, guys? Let's go. Tech tweeted out, ignore the no-sayers. Open your eyes. The world is going to change drastically. The dollar is that this shift already took place behind closed door. XRP becomes a new standard. Now is the time. 1/17/2020. The greatest transfer of wealth the world has ever seen. Again, guys, the greatest transfer of wealth. This decade, guys, is going to be amazing. Born again tweet, is it not just so bleeding obvious? The stages is set, the tracks are laid, elder owls are watching as you wait to get paid. England, Ripple selected to inform. You see that? Federal Reserve, Ripple was selected to serve. Look at this. International Monetary Fund, Ripple was selected to serve. Again, guys, it's here. I'm so glad. I'm so glad, you know, we have this chance of this opportunity, you know, for life-changing wealth, honestly. Now, Baba Cook comes back with a lot of, you know, tweets. He tweeted about a lot of stuff. The financial reset, return of the gold standard, gold-based XRP, enjoy the show, January 2020. And then this as well.
I like the idea of a gold standard. I mean, it could be used in a very cryptocurrency way. The point is, do you have a unified money system so that when you talk about the international marketplace, everyone is playing on a level monetary playing field? And it's very important to have a rules-based approach. And that's why I'm advocating that we need to look at the virtues of a gold standard and try to come up with something much closer to matching those, and then I think we would have more solid economic growth.
XRP gold backed. So guys, hopefully you guys did enjoy today's video. If you guys did, please leave a like, subscribe if you guys haven't already. I'll see you guys in my next video, and yeah guys, see ya. Hopefully you guys are having an amazing day, and yeah guys, see ya.